The average person has 60 to 70,000 thoughts every day, and 80% of those thoughts are negative. And 90 to 95% of those thoughts were from the day before. And 90 to 95% of those thoughts were from the day before. So we have these thought patterns that just run on autopilot, meaning that we're unaware of them. And you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. Your brain is a receiver that just receives these thoughts. And it's really beneficial to know this because a lot of people identify with their thoughts. And like I said, you're not your thoughts, so you don't need to be identifying with them, especially the negative ones. So negative thinking is a common problem, which is why I wanted to make this video. So I'm going to share with you 6 tips to overcome negative thinking. Now, the first tip I'm going to give you is meditation. Now, you can use meditation in a couple of different ways. The first way is you can use a candle meditation technique and just simply observe your thoughts. When you try and control your thoughts, like you've got negative thinking and you're like, I don't want to have negative thoughts, I want to just think positively, and you're trying to control it, that is when you actually create more resistance. So by observing your thoughts, it's a way that you can actually get your negative thoughts to quieten down and dissipate. So what you do is you just light the candle, you stare at the candle flame, and you just observe whatever thoughts are coming up, whether they're negative thoughts or positive, and you just observe them from a neutral place. So think of it like sitting on a park bench. And you're sitting on a park bench and you just watch people going past, right? Like you got someone that might be walking their dog, and then someone might be going for their morning run. So it's the same idea. It's as if you're just sitting on this park bench and you're just observing what thoughts are coming up. Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. Now, this is also really beneficial because, like I said, we have these thought patterns that are running on autopilot, meaning that we're unaware of them. And your thoughts contribute to creating your reality. So this is what quantum physics shows us. So by observing your thought patterns, you'll become familiar with your unconscious thoughts. And we all have belief systems. We all have stories that we tell ourselves. For example, a lot of us have the story that money is hard to make or that we never have enough money. And what quantum physics shows us is that beliefs create reality. So this is a great way to become aware of what your beliefs are, what your stories are, and also a great way to just deal with your negative thoughts. Now, a second way that you can use meditation is just by going into a meditative state. As you close your eyes, you're disconnecting from the outer world. And what ends up happening is the focus goes on the inner world and your brainwaves will drop. You'll drop from beta to alpha to theta. And when you're in that theta brainwave, you've gone from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. And the analytical mind is what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind. So through meditation, you can break through that analytical mind into the subconscious. And that is when your mind goes quiet. You have no thoughts. You drop out of the head and you drop into your heart. And that is when you just become pure consciousness. And then once you're in that state where you've got no thoughts, you've dropped into your heart, you can then start visualizing a scenario that could be like something really cool that's happening in your life. You know, you could visualize something joyful that's happening in your life and then feel those emotions of joy. Or you could feel the emotions of gratitude for what you have in your life. Now, by doing this, you're going to have those elevated emotions and you're going to have that the mind will be quiet. You won't have any thinking. And then as you come out of the meditation and go about your day, you will still have those elevated emotions and that negative thinking, that negative inner critic will still be quiet. It will stay silent for the rest of the day. So that's a great way to use meditation to just overcome your negative thinking. Now, the second tip I have is journaling. Now, journaling is another great tool. It's simple to do. You don't need anything for it except a piece of paper and a pen. And it's just a great way to get your negative thoughts out of your body, out of your system, and onto paper. Just simply by just writing it down, just writing it out, letting it out on paper. I have used journaling as a tool, and I have literally walked away from a journaling session feeling like I've had a therapy session. Like you feel so much better for it because you've just let all the rubbish out onto paper. So use journaling, give it a go just to clear your system out. I find that it's just something that's so simple and free to do, yet it's still really effective. So use journaling. It's a really great tool. Now, the third tip I got from Tony Robbins, and that is to change your physiological state. He says that if you change your physiological state, you can change your emotional state. So think of like a depressed person. What's their physiological state like? They're slumped over, head down. And so if you're staying in that physiological state, you're going to keep those depressed emotions. And so you can change your physiological state by moving your body. It could be getting up and exercising. It could be getting up and putting your favorite music on and dancing. Or what Tony Robbins talks about is just simply standing in a Superman pose and breathe deep for 2 minutes. And it's been scientifically proven that it will drop your cortisol levels by 22%. So just by getting up and standing in a Superman stance, which is a really powerful stance, it's changing your physiological state. You breathe deep for 2 minutes, and it can shift you out of that negative thinking and that negative emotional state. It's something that's really simple, yet still really effective. Now, the fourth tip I have is another one from Tony Robbins, and he says to change your focus. So you can change your emotional state by changing your focus. So you could change your focus to something that you're proud of. It could be your children. It could be an achievement or an accomplishment. And just focus on that moment. Or another way you can change your focus is by thinking about something that's happened that you're grateful for, or something that excites you. When you use gratitude, it's a way to shift your perspective from the lack in your life to the blessings that you have. So for example, one moment for me that I'm really grateful for, one of my favorite moments in my life, was being in the front row of an Eminem mosh pit, and I had Eminem performing right in front of me. Like a live performance of Eminem directly in front of me. Eminem is my favorite, I guess, celebrity. I don't really call him a celebrity because he's a rapper, but he's like my favorite celebrity or whatever, you know. He's been a really big influence in my life, and I never would have thought I'd have the opportunity to be in the front row of an Eminem mosh pit. And I think how many people out there, how many Eminem fans out there would love to have that moment, to be in the front row and have Eminem perform directly in front of them. So that's a moment I could use when I'm in a negative state. I can shift my focus to that moment and feel the gratitude for that moment and how lucky I am and how amazing that experience was. So that's a great way to deal with your negative thinking. Now, my fifth tip that I have for you is to simply distract yourself. Instead of stewing over these negative thoughts, you could just go and do something else that will distract you from them. It could be going for a walk in nature, which will raise your vibration, it will uplift you, it will make you feel so much better. It will help you to release some happy chemicals in the brain. You could go and see your friend and just have a chat with them, have a cup of coffee with them. Or you could watch some funny videos. There's some cool videos of like kids or animals that are real crack up online. Or sometimes I like to watch videos of like people that are out there helping the homeless people, you know, giving them like $500, and you just see their reaction, and it makes you just have those feel-good vibes. It makes you feel like, you know, there's good people still in the world. So just distracting yourself with something positive like that can help with dealing with your negative thoughts. And number 6, the last one, which I think is really the most important one, which is why I kept it to be the last one, and that is self-hypnosis. That negative inner critic that's telling you why you can't do things and how you're not good enough and all that self-doubt is a program. That negative inner critic is not you. It is a program that's been put there by someone else. Now, you have the ability to use self-hypnosis to reprogram yourself. So you can get rid of that negative programming and you can instill a positive one. We are basically like a computer system that just runs on programs. So the way you use self-hypnosis is you go into a meditative state, you allow your brainwaves to drop from beta to alpha to theta, because when you're in the theta brainwave, you're in the subconscious mind, and this is how you can influence your subconscious mind and reprogram it. So what you do is you find some sort of audio recording. There's heaps on YouTube, like subconscious programming videos or affirmation videos. And what you do is you put headphones in, because it's better to use headphones or earphones, whichever ones. And you go into the meditative state as you're listening to it and allow your brainwaves to drop. So when you're in theta and you're listening to this positive subconscious program, it's going to go straight into your subconscious mind. So it's very powerful and really influential. So the way you reprogram the subconscious mind is self-hypnosis and repetition. So I recommend to create a daily habit of reprogramming yourself with some sort of positive programming. Because when you do that, when you get rid of the negative programming and you replace it with a positive one, then you won't have as much, negative thinking going on. You'll have a lot more positive thoughts. Your programming is your natural state. And so when you have a natural state that's positive, you'll naturally just have positive thoughts. So those are my 6 tips for, overcoming negative thinking. I hope this was really helpful for you and you got some sort of value out of it. If you did, let me know by smashing that like button or write a comment. And if you like this sort of content and you like me, Laura from New Zealand, then make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified whenever I drop a video. I hope you have an awesome day. Peace.